Alright, so today is September 20th, 2020. I just met Bobby out here. Yo, Bobby, tell them where this place is, what this place is about in the Boston area.
This is Mass Ave. They call it Methadone Mile. Basically, when you come to this area, it mainly should be for medical business. If you're a patient. And then there's like the dark side to this, which is what you see, like people come down here to like basically buy drugs.
Yep. Like, so essentially when people can't afford to go to a doctor, they gotta holler at a street doctor, right?
Exactly.
So tell them how long you've been here. What you've been going through to get to this point, like, if you don't mind me asking.
No, it's no problem at all. So basically, I got to this point because I went through a lot of physical pain. Yeah. And I wasn't staying on top of my appointments and shit.
Yeah.
What I basically did was went to the streets because I felt like the medication I was getting wasn't taking care of other physical pains that I go through.
And what was that medication?
My Suboxones.
So they had you on like a maintenance drug.
Right. And before that maintenance drug, I was doing fentanyl, heroin, basically opiates.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this is just basically a one-stop shop for hard drugs and other drugs like weed, pills, and like other little stuff like mushrooms and shit.
Yeah.
And girls too, and females. Whatever you need, like it's here.
That's a ram. $50.
What else you need, JR?
So ever since like, let's see, mid-March when people started talking about COVID and this whole pandemic, how have you been getting by? Because I noticed when I'd be walking down the strip with you, you know, some people got masks, but at the same time, it seems like everybody be going about business unprotected from this pandemic.
Right.
Do you feel like the state or anybody who's supposed to be looking out for its citizens, are they looking out for y'all out here on Methadone Mile?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
They really do look out, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna sit here and make excuses, but when they look out, there's a lot of other stuff that, for instance, like they made a comfort station right back here for people to come and just get comfortable doing what they do out here, however they do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you had kids driving by, like in their parents' cars and shit, seeing this stuff firsthand. Like people with mental health issues, people shooting up, like with needles in their arm.
Yeah.
You name it. It's been seen out here, trust me. And I've been running out here for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, buddy.
That's crazy.
And I just turned 32 last Sunday.
Where the fuck he go?
Happy belated.
Yo, where did you go?
Glad that, like that ass, I'm glad you're allowed to like tell your story.
What did you go?
It seemed like, yeah, he went down that way. He just passed us like 2 minutes ago. Yeah, that's...
So, if there was something that you'd want to tell either like your fellow constituents in like the state of Massachusetts or just other Americans, not just about what you go through on Methadone Mile, but what? countless people in the United States are going through with, you know, substance use addiction and, you know, trying to deal with pain and depression, what would you tell people who haven't been on the dark side of shit?
I would just tell them to make smarter choices.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure people that are using it are smarter than what they're really doing.
Yeah.
And to take advantage of your resources and stay on top of your appointments.
Yeah.
That's all. And if you're gonna do it,
Make sure you got a way out, right?
not only that, but to like make sure you're just doing it where you're not harming yourself, because it's real easy for you to get harmed out here.
Yeah.
Like as far as shooting needles.
Listen, stop talking, man.
Because a lot of people out here, believe it or not, have viruses and like all types of infections going on.
Yeah.
Because they're not really taking care of themselves how they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And also you got people out here, like, I would say the youngest person was like 16 years old. It was crazy. And long story short, some people come out here to fucking not only be in the streets but trying to learn the ropes. And this place is not a place where you want to learn the ropes.
This is where people come out here if they're seasoned and they have nowhere else to go, right?
Right, exactly. And if you don't know, you will learn quickly.
Yeah.
As far as doing what you gotta do, and motherfuckers showing you why you shouldn't be doing what you're doing if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you know, from one black man to another, like, those words really hit deep for me, because even though I ain't per se grow up in such an uncontrolled environment where I ain't have nobody really around to like fully mentor me. It was just kind of like, alright, like, we brought you here to a decent education system, but I'm gonna keep you away from all the realities of what other fellow black people are going through, just so you can make a way. But for me, I feel like that kind of isolated me for a long time, because I was always bad with people. So unfortunately, I fucked around and ended up getting into substances and shit. And the sad part was the only thing that kept me from, you know, using shit like dust or heroin or fentanyl or any of that shit. It's the fact that I ran into kids a couple years older who are already on that type of shit. And that shit is gonna be sad as fuck, yo. And if there's anything I could tell you, even though I just met you and who knows how often I'll come back here, I'm not here to sell you no false hope, but brother, if you strong enough to survive being out here for 5 years, then you're strong enough to pull your life around and make a way for you to, you know, excel and make it out of here, and hopefully, you know, be a light for all these people out here, because I see the way you be moving around here, and I see how people be looking to you to, you know, get them through the ropes. So don't ever let this shit knock you. You know, people always gonna drive by and shit like that and look at y'all like you're something else, but at the end of the day, from the second when you brought me out here, bro, I see you. I'm not just one of these people looking out through a window, looking at this shit like a zoo.
Exactly, like it's a jungle shoot.
This shit also hits me really heavy too, because someone who I used to call my best friend, you know, I snapped on him and it was his birthday, And it wasn't necessarily that I was mad for him leaving me hanging and shit. We were supposed to meet up at like his house, and I came all the way from south of Boston to see him, and I was just trying to get the word if he was at his crib. This motherfucker left me hanging for over 2 hours at Alewife just waiting to get the word. But then I managed to link up with him a week later, and he was supposed to be clean, mind you. I found out this dude was on Molly. At first on the phone, he was telling me, you know, and shit was cool. I was like, whatever, you doing your thing. But then I had a rough night, you know, with some family members. I was trying to get back to school up in Lowell, and my, you know, plans were running late. I was getting mad at my ride. He had been trying to get a ride off me and shit like that. So I ended up getting dropped off at his place. And fucking, I was already mad, and unfortunately I took it out on him. But as much as I thought I was mad about the whole shit of him leaving me hanging the week prior, I realized I was mad because the friendship was straining and he was using again. And a couple times before, his mother had called me blaming me and another buddy of his for getting him back into drugs, but what she didn't know is that he had been lying about staying clean. And I didn't know what to do, because it's like, yo, I've been with you through thick and thin. I was with this nigga when he took his first Xanax back in summer 2016. Fuck Xans. I feel like when you pop that shit, it's like selling your soul for a day and you black out. Fucking, you know, I was with him through that. I was with him after he jumped off his parents' roof. Yeah. And, you know, I was with him when all his other friends left him, but for some reason this time, it's like he wanted me to be there for him, but
Everybody wanna be a gangster.
yo, say that twice, yo, for all the people who be out here capping on that street shit.
I'ma say it up there too.
But yeah, and I feel like even though I may in my mind have been justified for leaving him and saying like, listen, it's either me or the substances, I still feel bad to this day.
I don't know why. You gotta live your own life, man. And honestly, only way is separate yourself, brother.
It's just tough though when, you know, not only this is your boy, but like his family trusted you, and the whole time this dude was using, but I wasn't about to go behind his back and just tell his parents like, oh, your son's using again and shit. But unfortunately, I was so committed to the friendship that I became blind, you know. I was loyal to a fault, and sometimes, you know, it takes getting to that crossroads to realize you're actually harming people more than you're helping them.
Exactly. You don't want to wait till it's too late. If that's really your book, that's really your man, how you say he is. And sometimes you gotta go behind his back to protect him, make sure he's safe. But all it's gonna do at the end of the day is gonna hurt you, and it's gonna hurt him even more. So he's gonna keep doing it, and then eventually, nigga, he ain't gonna be able to do it anymore.
The fucked up part about the whole shit was when I spazzed on him, you know, mind you, he just from then he had recently been diagnosed with schizophrenia and shit, and he was really into acid, and but he flipped on me, and mind you, I'm bipolar, but he like took that shit and threw that in my face, and then on top of it, he said, fuck you, like, you know, you're going behind my back and hanging out with other people, when it wasn't even like that.
Yeah, just to get a reaction of it.
He wasn't in a good place, so I couldn't really make plans with him. And then on top of that shit, he said for all the times I was supporting other homies when they were going through situations, dealing with, you know, some fuck ass people, he said I was trying to be gangster, this, that, and the third. But I'm like, it's funny how you want a black man to be by your side when you going through all your shit with the law, and you know, situations that could put you in legal jeopardy. But when I choose to support my other friends and deal with shit, then I'm being gangster, right? But then you still gonna turn around and bump to this rap music, trap music, trying to vibe with black culture and shit like that. But then when I'm actually trying to be here for you, you like flip that shit 180. So I told him,
Kick rocks.
yep. So one last thing, Bobby.
What's up, bro?
So I know COVID and all this shit, you know, is bringing out all the underlying inequalities and disparities in not only this country but throughout the world as far as how, you know, black people get treated. What do you have to say about that from your personal experience, slash if there was some perspective that you could give to people who are quick to demonize black people in these positions, or who grow up in Section 8 or project housing or public housing and shit like that? What would you want to tell these people that are quick to demonize us but won't take into consideration all the shit the government keeps be doing to bring us down?
Yeah, I would tell them, just really try to pay attention to what's going on, so that way you won't be fucking hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself. Because at the end of the day, they're really just trying to help us more. It might be a process, but I mean, like I said, you just gotta pay attention more to what's good for you instead of the negative shit.
I said, all right,
Yeah.
I walked away.
Right.
That's
Then I
pretty much
came
it.
back 2 days later, get stolen. My boy heard it from
I respect that. Thank you.
Oh.
Easy.